Hey everyone! Today we're going to unpack a really powerful idea that connects the dots between biology and business. It's called niches, and it's all about the strategy of where, and more importantly, how you decide to compete.
So let's just dive right in with a question for you personally. When you think about your career, your business, or even just how you approach things in life, are you a specialist or are you a generalist? Now, that might sound like just a simple personality quiz question, but your answer actually defines, well, pretty much everything. It dictates how you compete, how you deal with pressure, and in the really tough worlds of business and nature, it can literally determine whether you survive at all.
Okay, so to really get a handle on the stakes here, we first have to define the arena where this whole game is played. So let's start with the big, fundamental question. What exactly is a niche?
A niche isn't just a physical place, it's more like a job description for an organism or a company. It's the complete summary of how you make a living. It's what you eat, who you're up against, and the one-of-a-kind role you play in the whole system.
I absolutely love this metaphor because it just makes the whole idea click. A perfect niche is like getting a custom-fitted suit. It's not about trying to be the best at everything. It's about being the absolute perfect fit for a very, very specific environment. And that right there brings us to the two main ways you can wear that metaphorical suit. You can be a specialist with that perfectly tailored but kind of restrictive tuxedo, or you can be a generalist with a more adaptable, all-weather kind of jacket. Think about it this way. On one path, you've got the koala. It's the ultimate specialist, right? Perfectly designed to eat basically one thing, eucalyptus leaves. And on the other path, you have the raccoon, a true master generalist that can do just fine in a forest or, a city dumpster, eating pretty much anything it finds. Two totally different paths to survival.
Now, here's what I find so fascinating about this. This table reveals a huge trade-off. See, this isn't about avoiding stress. It's about choosing your stress. If you're a generalist, you have high daily stress because you're constantly competing with everyone. But if you're a specialist, your daily stress is low, but you face this massive, catastrophic stress the second your cozy environment changes.
So, which one's better? Well, the answer is actually really simple, and it's profound. It depends entirely on one thing. How stable is your environment? In a predictable, unchanging world, specialists almost always win. But in a chaotic, unpredictable world, the generalists are the ones who survive.
But what happens when two different competitors try to occupy the exact same niche? Well, the arena has a very strict and, frankly, a very unforgiving law for that situation. It's called Gauss's law, or the competitive exclusion principle. And the rule is brutally simple. Two competitors cannot share the identical niche forever. It just can't happen. If they do, the one with even a razor-thin advantage will, eventually, drive the other one into extinction. There are no ties in this game. And believe me, this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a law that plays out with real, serious consequences. And to see it in action, we just have to look at this tragic tale that's unfolding right now in the United Kingdom. Just look at these numbers. It's a total wipeout. For 10,000 years, the native red squirrel was doing great in the UK. And then, the gray squirrel was introduced from North America. They occupy the exact same niche, but the gray has these tiny advantages. It can digest acorns a bit better, and it carries a virus that's harmless to them, but deadly to the reds. The result? Total displacement. One winner. So, if competition is this brutal, how on earth does nature produce such incredible diversity? Well, this leads us to one of the coolest outcomes of all this niche pressure, what you might call the inevitable solution. It's this idea called convergent evolution, and it basically says that similar problems or similar niches will produce strikingly similar solutions, even in completely unrelated organisms. It turns out evolution isn't nearly as random as we think. Some solutions are just kind of inevitable. So let's take a universal problem that life on Earth has to solve. A really big one, the problem of how to see. Now get this. The human eye and the octopus eye they're astonishingly similar in their structure. But our last common ancestor was just a simple little creature with a basic eye spot. We are not closely related at all. But because we both face the same niche problem of needing to see clearly, evolution converged on almost the exact same engineering solution. Twice, totally independently. This quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the predictive power of a niche. The environment creates a keyhole, a very specific set of problems and opportunities. And that keyhole dictates the shape of the key that will eventually evolve to fit it.
Okay, so this is all fascinating, but how do we actually apply it? How do you choose your strategy in your business or for your career? Let's get practical and look at the playbook. First up, let's look at the specialist strategy with the incredible survival story of the fax machine. For over 150 years, this thing survived not by dominating, but by niche hopping. It just kept lurching from one tiny protected pond, like newspapers and the military, to the next, always staying one step ahead of being totally obsolete, until it finally had its big breakout moment as a generalist in the 80s. Now, let's contrast that with the ultimate generalist, Coca-Cola. Their playbook was the complete opposite. Instead of finding a tiny niche, they targeted a universal human need. They then worked to remove every single barrier, class, culture, location, and they sold an idea, the good moments, not just a sugary drink. This incredible flexibility is how they took over the world. So, here's the crucial takeaway from all this. Thinking we are a specialist company or I am a generalist is the wrong way to look at it. Your niche strategy isn't some fixed identity that you're stuck with forever. It is a strategic choice that you make and remake based on the environment you find yourself in. Which leaves us with one final big question for you to think about for your own work and your own life. That niche that you occupy right now, is it a defensible fortress that's protecting you from the competition, or is it a fragile trap, leaving you just one environmental shift away from extinction? Because the answer to that question changes everything.